empowerment, black on black empowerment. It's really heavy. It's really imperative now more than ever that we come together as a community. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about like the Jewish communities being able to come together and be one. And even we have a guest that I'll introduce you guys to in a little bit, saying that this kind of coming together and making things happen for us. Together as a community, and without it being hateful and prideful and mischievous, that if we were to come together, we can definitely strike that mighty war that you were trying to prep us for. You know what I mean, Craig? Like, it definitely can happen. But you holding this little goatee down there, so I know you got something to say. So go ahead. You good?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a little goatee.
Oh boy. Yeah. So. I digress.
My shit is skipped.
So Chen, I'm gonna have you introduce our next couple of guests that are here. Thank you guys for coming, by the way. It's a packed room again. Like the last time we had this packed room, it was definitely
It won't be there for repeat.
But I told Nick and Kurt, so if she flipped out an F-bomb, it is what it is. Go ahead.
So to kind of tie in a bit of what we were talking about, I actually have the cast and the creators of a play called Why Me, and it's about injustice and about just what different people of different nationalities and what they go through, and just being oppressed, and of course being black, of course, and with the cops and everything that comes from that, and how families are affected. So we're gonna let them talk about the play. And I don't know if who wants to start. We have the creators. If you guys want to introduce yourselves and maybe what part you play.
I'm gonna head out.
Well, you sitting over there. You might as well just introduce yourself first. They don't want you to talk to you.
Okay, yeah, I'll introduce myself. My name is Lawrence. My name is Lawrence. I play a part called Hot Summer Evening. My idea of what the play is just exactly what you said. It's true to life. It's about real life situations that have happened that have been completely not overlooked, but they've been forgotten about. And I feel like this play is something that's gonna put everybody in a position where they're so uncomfortable that they have no choice but to talk about it, which is honestly what's needed.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here, Lawrence. We definitely appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Can I ask a question? So is it focused on one story, or is there a bunch of people's stories and how it ties in together? So is that like spoiler?
I'm gonna try to not give spoilers. I'm not giving any spoilers. It's a two-part play. The first part is showing the interactions between a bunch of different ethnicities sitting at a round table speaking about these incidents, and the second half it's about true-to-life monologues from incidents that have occurred about the situations that we've all read about or watched about.
Okay, that was good. That wasn't much of a spoiler. That was nice.
I'll just dip in while I'm at the mic already. I'm also in it. I play Mahida, which is a Muslim woman, and yes, it's about different stories. And one thing I can definitely tell you is that if you come to this play, you will not leave dry-eyed. It's very emotional. It's very intense. We've done this play a few different times, different places, and
It touches people.
Yes. Yeah. You cannot not be affected.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get a chance to even talk to the creators.
Yeah.
Which are here with us today. So, creator?
Yeah, these two are the creators.
Creators. Black woman empowerment! Yeah! Give it a round of applause. Lovely black ladies over there. Come over here, introduce yourself to the people. And tell them your vision behind this play.
Okay, my name is Dara Bragg, and I'm one of the writers of this play, and also co-directing with my daughter Koya. And what happened is that we saw all these different things going on in reference to police brutality and just violence. So we wanted to bring awareness to the people about what happened with these individuals and let them know that, look, we have to keep this in their face. We can't let these people be forgotten about because what happened to them was not right. So that's when my daughter and I, we decided that we wanted to write this play, and we definitely wanted to call it something that is very catchy, a name that's very catchy, which is Why Me? Why them?
Right.
Why did that happen to all these different individuals? Yeah. So we definitely wanted to, bring about awareness. Okay. So.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're gonna just kind of move on to our next person so that way we can get everybody in. So the other creator happens to be the daughter. Say your name.
My name is Koya Bragg Summers.
And what was your part in kind of just like bringing this all together?
Basically, I was just sick of seeing our black men being killed by cops and the other color, white people, and it's just being discriminated against of the color of their skin. And I spoke to my mom about it, and we came together, and that's when we came up with Why Me.
Yeah.
And each individual, each character means a lot to us because they all have stories.
Right.
So for all of them to just come out and speak about their stories, real life situations that's been going on for years, it's time for everything to stop because it's just ridiculous. I mean, look what just happened to the man that was just sitting in his living room eating ice cream and he gets killed. Like, are you serious? This is ridiculous. So we're trying to spread this word everywhere. We want to go to each borough. We want to go to each state and, just spread the word of, stop it. Stop killing our men, stop killing our women, stop killing our children.
Enough is enough.
Period. Enough is enough.
So with the play, are there people who like people relevant, like Eric Garner and stuff like that you guys are talking about? Without giving it away, I'm sorry. I don't want you to give it away. You give me that look like, damn it, don't say it. So I was wanting to know before I said anything else. You don't want to go too far, it's okay.
There are true lives and true stories that really happen. Yes.
And this is happening in what borough?
It's happening in Queens, and it's actually happening at Sean Bell's mom's church.
Oh wow.
And she actually saw it on Jamaica when we did it at JCal.
Yeah.
And she loved it so much that she wanted us to have it at her church. So it's going to be October 19th at 5 p.m.
Okay, and you guys, how long has it been running?
How long we've been doing it?
2 years.
About 2 years.
2017.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 years.
So do you guys change the story every time you do it again?
It's the same story.
Oh, that's what's up.
When we have added people to it.
I was thinking
that's right.
that would be a lot. Every day there's
And
another
every time I want to ask a question, I'm like, I'm going to be giving it away. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate
No
you.
problem.
And this young man sitting across from me, you can just give everybody your name and tell them what you are doing in the play.
Okay. My name is Brian Parker, and I am embodying one of those stories in the play.
Y'all killing me right now, because the questions I want to ask, I can't ask. I'm going to try to ask, everything I'm thinking about, I'm like, damn, it's going to give away something in the play. All right, so what brought you guys on to want to do this play? That's good, right? Well, I'm not giving anything away. What made you say, hey, I want to jump in on this?
Well, so for me, as a young African American male, what brought me onto this project was, number one, with the audition process. They never told us who we were playing as a character.
Get out of here!
So we just auditioned for something we had no idea what it was. They gave us a part of our monologue that it would correlate with nothing.
I would have definitely been sweat like I was in the Baptist church.
Exactly.
Like,
when we get to the place, we actually audition, and then they explain everything else to us, and then it starts to click, it starts to make sense, and for me, that was just like, being a part of this is like being a part of something bigger than yourself.
Right.
So to pass this opportunity up to spread this word, or to even like give a voice to those who have no voice anymore, was just a no-brainer for me.
so that means you guys are also like telling stories from like maybe people who were deceased. That's okay. You have to say yes. You have to say yes. Let me give it away, right? Yes. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was getting the question that some way somehow. All right. So what brought you on to do this play? What made you want to be a part?
I mean, a lot of reasons. I mean, I grew up in the South, so, driving while black, riding while black, being black on a Sunday. I mean, those are always things that I got to see firsthand, as almost being an offense, and you just got used to it. Sad to say. But being an actor, a lot of times you get to play people that don't really exist.
Yeah.
When you read these monologues, when you embody this person that is no longer with us, you're telling the story of somebody that was real, somebody that can't speak anymore. And I mean, they talk about how, Jen said, the audience is gonna cry and everything, but it's hard when you
for you, right?
Yeah, because you're pulling it out and you're that person.
And in that moment, you guys are embodying this character. Like you take in their emotions and their feelings and whatever they're going through.
It's
moment.
it's very emotional even for when you're doing it. So I mean, just the opportunity to do that and to be able to see the crowd kind of turn, because when we first started out to play with like he said, it's a 2-part play, so they're laughing and they kiki, and even some things that they say during their round table might be a little controversial, but it gets people laughing because it kind of goes with some of the stereotypes that we think about each other that maybe we don't always say. So people kind of get a good laugh out of it, and then it transitions, and then it makes people think, and they go, "Damn, why me? Why?" And it's like Ms. Bragg said, we have to keep, unfortunately, adding people because it ain't stopping, and we have to keep asking why. So it leaves you, when you walk out of there, you're gonna feel all kind of ways about it, but mostly you're gonna think about why. Why does this keep happening?
Before I get to Jen, so I know you guys were saying, like, unfortunately, things like this are occurring like every day. Every day there's it's like eating breakfast. Every day somebody's dying. Every day, like,
and you get desensitized.
And you get desensitized. So what are some of the things you guys think need to start happening in order for us to fix this? I'll start with you, Lawrence.
Well, first, as a community, we have to understand that we have to stop letting people dictate whether we're divided or not. We have to ourselves come together as a community and realize that it's not as much hate, it's not as much disdain, it's not as much jealousy for one another as you may believe. We have to stop using our environment as a cop-out to explain why we are doing this to each other.
I agree.
So, like, I don't want to hear the excuse anymore. I'm from the hood.
I always
that's
say
what
that.
it says. I'm from the same hood you're from. You know what I mean? I was born and raised in Bed-Stuy, pre-gentrification.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Talk about it.
I think I turned out really, really well as a person, as a human being. So the fact that you use that, and these are people older than me, you're using that as a cop-out because when we don't love each other, how can we expect somebody else to love us?
Right.
When we don't respect each other, how can we expect somebody else to respect us?
That's true.
So for me, the way that we mend all this is we have to get, not only our community leaders have to be more of a presence, but we have to be more willing to accept that role. I know it sounds weird, but if you're gonna trust these leaders, you have to be willing to follow.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're not willing to follow, then you can't stand up against the leader. Like, you can't, I don't believe in this, I'm not gonna do this, because like you're leaving us in the same place that we're in instead of just following this person who wants to guide us out. So we have to trust our leaders, and we have to have better leaders.
Right. I agree. Actually, I wanna what about you, sir?
No, I just think we just have to keep promoting the positivity in our community. I mean, like Lauren said, we can't let people dictate who we're gonna be.
Right.
We have to, I mean, I'm a father, and one of the worst things is having to prepare your kids for this is how you are when you're outside and things like that. We need to sit there and show everybody, our community, not people in our community, that all those stereotypes against us aren't what they are.
Right.
A lot of times is people sit there and they see you, they already have made up their mind about you. They don't matter what you wear, don't matter how you talk or you speak with. They don't care about that. When they see you, if you're not looking like them, they've already made up their minds about you. So we have to keep constantly pushing back against that. Not sitting there fighting against each other. I know y'all was talking earlier about these beefs and everything else and being in the street, not being in the street. No, we have to provide a front. They need to see us in a certain way that debunks all of that stuff. Is everybody going to sit there and take to it? No.
Right.
But we got to sit there and control the narrative. They've always controlled the narrative. They always define us. Like you were just talking about. How can a black man just sit in his own apartment and get shot? The first thing that came to her mind when she walked in the apartment was, he needs to die.
Right.
He was in the defenseless position. Even if you thought it was your apartment. You ain't never heard of a taser. You ain't never heard of calling for backup. You ain't never heard for identifying yourself as a cop. The first thing in your mind is this nigga got to die. That was in her mind. We got to push up against that. We talk about Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. and that is true. But we need to promote that all lives matter. We gotta stop letting them see us as less than. I see people treat their dogs in Brooklyn every day better than they would treat a black person.
Yep.
But we have to push back against that and show them, no. We're not having that. And we expect, and you have to expect that respect from them and say, this is what we expect. And we're not taking anything less than that. So that's what we have to do.
Jen. Oh man, it gave me chills. Jen, so why did you get involved? What made you want to be a part of something so great?
Well, first of all, I've worked with these people for many years. I've done many projects, so this was just something added. So when it was brought to my attention, I was like, yeah, hop on board, no problem. But then when I actually got into it, like Lauren said, it was like, wow, how it became more of an honor to even have been asked to come on board and partake in this. Yeah. So it was a no-brainer.
Right.
Absolutely. And it's just funny with with Sean Bell's mom. When we did it, I don't know who was with us. When we did it that time, we did it in Queens, and there was a few of us. This was before the show we even took place. We were like outside having pizza, like just was you with us?
Yeah.
So these two older women,
Yeah.
they walked past. I think they went to the bathroom, and then they came back out, and they were like, "So are you guys, you guys doing the show tonight?" And we, we're eating our pizza, we talking. We was like, "Yep." And they was like, "Okay, good. Well, hope you guys do a good job." Yeah, we got you, we good. Not knowing it's Sean Bell's mom. So then after the play, when she comes up and she's just like, "Oh my God, thank you guys," and we was like, "Oh my God, we didn't even know." You know what I mean?
Thank God,
But it was just, it was just so much. It was just so much emotions.
Well, okay, that's good. I want to go see it. Like, I'm going to call out of work for this. So what are some of the components outside of this, like, people have to stop, that you want us, people who are going to see it, to get out of it? Like, what other things do you expect people to kind of leave with?
I want people. Sorry. I just want people to know that as a people, we need to come together and fight against what's going on to us. Let's protest. Let's like do plays like this and spread the word.
Right.
Just keep it in people's face, so then they won't forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people is not just Sean Bell and Eric Garner. It's been a whole bunch of people that lost their lives because of senseless violence. So I just want you to just spread the word. Basically, just spread the word. Like in the beginning, it is funny. They, how people feel about each other's cultures, different cultures and stuff like that. It makes it funny. But when those guys get up there, they just like bring their all into it, and that's the seriousness of it and the realness of the stories. So that's what I.
Speaking about the stories, I love this fact that you have them. I'm sorry, I think you're probably like nervous, but I always ask. Watch Courtney's Corner Monday night. Why did you guys go about like auditioning them first and then giving them the character? How was that? Like, what process was that, and why did I do that?
That's a good question.
You want to answer one?
No.
That's really interesting.
I think it was like we didn't actually want them to know who they were playing. Like, I just wanted them to, once we gave them a little piece of it, to see what they could do with it. And then when they actually came like to do like the second audition or whatever, then they'll know exactly
like that authenticity. So what did you guys have to audition with? Like, what scripts were you given? Like this random, you give them a random piece and then saw what they can do?
Well, the first part of it, they got the script because they wasn't the character. Like we didn't care.
Right.
They couldn't know who the character they playing. But the monologues, we didn't want them to know.
Okay. So those are the characters.
Yeah. So they just got like a little piece of it. Even if they did like a like a reel, like Lawrence did a video, he did like a reel And then we saw that, and that's when we're like, oh, okay, yeah, he kind of fits the part. And then
Unfortunately, some of us don't have that, so you have to draw on what would this person be thinking, what would they feel like in this moment, because it's not you, like it's not Lawrence being approached by this cop, it's X, Y, and Z being approached by this cop. Like, how would he respond? How would she respond? How would they respond to the situation at hand? So you have to like like Mr. Bragg always tells us, there's always room for improvement. So you always have to like find better ways to dig deeper into that character and kind of forget more of yourself and just embody that character. And it hurts sometimes.
Yeah.
It
Like,
hurts.
you guys do like research and kind of figure out,
Yeah.
the place and stuff. Brian, what about yourself?
Man, I had to just research my life and just knowing every time down south, man, when the blue lights come on behind you when you drive, and even if you know you ain't done nothing wrong, and that fear that just runs through you and your heart is beating and stuff, and
In your stomach.
you don't even know if you're gonna walk away from it, you know?
Right.
Being able to draw on that and just know that, people don't look at you for your character, they look at you for what they perceive you to be. So I could draw from all of that and just kind of, always go back to, man, I know exactly how that feels. I've had to feel like that so many times when somebody's asking you, why you here, what you doing here, you don't belong here, oh, we stopped you because you fit a description. You used to hear that all the time, and I'd be like, okay, I fit a description. That's
Just
it.
black.
Yeah, just black, right? And that's all it had to be. And knowing just that horror of that. So I didn't really have to research how that felt. I did have to kind of research the person that I embodied a little bit, but I was able to kind of gel the two together and hopefully do that character justice.
All right. And Jen?
Yeah, my character's not as heavy as what these guys have to go through. But just being a black woman,
Right.
the character I play is a Muslim woman, and it's like, you're still a woman of color, and you're oppressed and all these things against you, you know what I'm saying? And, there's a line in there, one of the other characters says to be, you don't have a voice. And it's like, she's like, no, I do have a voice. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's finding that energy above everything to be like, no, I have a voice. I'm gonna speak up. This is what I'm going through. This is what I feel, and you're gonna listen to me. You're gonna hear. You're gonna feel my pain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just diving into just that, like, growing up being a black woman is hard. It's very difficult. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's like you said, this is something you can't take off. You know what I'm saying? You wake up with this. You know what I mean? Like you can't just be like, well, I don't want to wear this today. Like, no, you don't have a choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just have to proceed, and like you said, hopefully you get to make it home. You know what I mean? Like that's like the biggest thing you try to accomplish that day above everything. I hope I get home to my family at the end of the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like I always say, I'm normally not speechless, but I've got like chills, and I kind of feel like this is so necessary, especially in the times that we're living in right now. And I feel like it's going from like bad to worse. So I was going to firstly to say thank you. Thank you for allowing this to come to life, for being able to give people who are no longer with us a voice. You know what I'm saying? So we can kind of get into their minds and see how they felt within in that moment, even though they know they're no longer here with us, and taking us on that journey that you guys were saying to touch on these controversial topics, because a lot of people are sweeping under the rug like it's not real, like it's not true, and in reality it is, and it's continuing to happen until we realize that this shit is real. That every day we wake up is a gift, because you're never sure you're gonna make it back home. It's a gift, you know what I mean? So I thank you guys so much. For anybody watching, it's October 19th at 5 p.m. And what they said, church one more time.
It's from the Community Church of Christ, and to get tickets, you have to get in touch with Miss Bell, Valerie Bell, vbell just23 at gmail.com.
vbell just23 at gmail.com. October 19th at 5 p.m. Community Church of Christ. Well, thank you guys so much for being here
Thank you.
and rocking with us. We love you guys so much for being here and embracing. Yes, we need more people like you in this community every single day. We'll be right back on Uncensored. When you're able to embody a character and you when you're done, you feel like that person was that guy, you know what I'm saying, that's being played, because you've taken everything, all of their pain, their suffering, everything, and you just kind of made it your own, like you said before. That is very, very painful. To relive that every single time, you know what I mean? I can only imagine Sean's Bell mom, like just kind of having to see that, you know what I mean? Has to be a lot, but we're incredibly thankful for all of those, again, for the cast, crew, and creators for coming by.
Like this, to go around and go into the neighborhoods and show the black community what's going on, so we can touch as much people as we can. So if we can touch one person, that's good for me.
It's so true.
Sometimes you can't touch nobody. So even if you touch one person,
and that person touched two people, and it just,
you know what I mean?
Like that.
And it's like this is kind of piggyback off what Lauren was saying. Like, people come out here with this impression of who we are when we're not, you know, what the media makes us out to be. You know what I mean? We're not. You know what I'm saying? And like he was also saying, which is what I've been preaching on my Facebook all the time, that we are more than our circumstances. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just because we live in a certain place doesn't mean that we have to become that. Just because we've gone through certain things doesn't mean we become that. You know what I mean? We are so much more than what people want us to be. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, too. Yeah. We're very influential in society as a whole.
Right.
In everything, in music, the way we dress, the way we speak. Right. We're very influential, but we don't get no credit for that. We just do shit to just do shit, and you know what I mean? Like,
that's what
nothing from it, but we need to own our shit.
Yeah.
Right.
We need to
own our own.
Kylie stop swagger jacket.
And as much as they hate us, they want to be us. Like Jen was saying, we wake up looking like this.
Now, they don't want to be black though. I can tell you
they want to be like, they go to these tan salons and they get themselves. They look like if they stay there long enough, they'll look like Wesley Snipes. They want to be us so bad. They want to get our lips. They want to get our color. They want to get their ass. They want to get the tits. They want to
it's time to be us. Right.
There's nothing wrong with admiration. We're not saying there's anything against that. We can respect different cultures and attributes of different cultures and all those things. But like, it comes a time you have to give credit. You got to give respect. That's the whole thing with gentrification. Like, we don't mind you being. We can live amongst each other. We can have certain traits. We can intermingle and all that. But you have to show respect. And like praise due, like, you know what it, like, you have to acknowledge what you're doing. You can't just take it and be like, oh, this is mine.
And
you don't got nothing to do with it.
Or where this shit came from. Yeah. It didn't come from you. You didn't wake up one morning and say, you know what? Maybe I'll get big lips. Or maybe, you know, this ass should just get fat. You know what I mean? Like, you have to acknowledge where this came from. And it came from us kings and queens right here. You know what I'm saying? Right here. And you need to take that ownership. But like he was saying, my man was saying, we're going to take it back. You don't think people rip cornrows and wigs off all day until y'all realize that this is not a game.
But it was just like they were saying, we have to control the narrative. Like we never have, and that's a big part of the problem.
And that's also in staying educated too. You know, one thing that I don't know who said it in this room, but like, you know, being able to like take something away from us, and one thing they do about putting things in a book, you know, if you want to put things in a book, like, you know, you want them to know something, put it in the book. Like, that shit is not cool. You know what I mean? That's not okay. But because you were saying, because they've been controlling this so long, this narrative, that we sometimes go with it. Like,
but the thing that I'm happy and excited about is that we do have more movements like this team right here that's coming through and putting on and giving us representation and a face and everything. We also have big news too with Tyler Perry, like, officially open up his studios. Like, he did some work before, but doing things like that, and we need to support that, and we need to stand behind that.
And let's be honest, it's the biggest.
Yeah.
The biggest studio ever. The biggest.
Black Panther, Marvel Studios, all these people are going in there trying to film with them. Right. So, like, this is something, and all the people I had issue with too, like the Tyler Perry stereotypical black personification, like showing us in a certain light. I felt the way, but like, that was the whole thing with trusting people. I'm not going to speak bad on Tyler Perry because he's doing something for the benefit of us. So if all that quote unquote buffoonery was for this and for a better outlook and a better opportunity for people as a whole, I'm with it.
But
I'm
here's
with
the
it.
thing, though. A lot of that was based out of his experience.
Mhm.
That's why I'm not knocking Tyler Perry. Like, if that's his experience, that's the sum total of his life experience. Go ahead and tell your story. But I appreciate about him, he's not trying to leave anybody behind in the process.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? So
Yeah.
I can absolutely 100%
He didn't just
respect
stop
that.
at that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And that's what we need, and that's how we're gonna change it. You know, when I was talking before, I wasn't necessarily talking about militant thing. I mean, I do think that we just need to protect each other. Like we gotta protect each other and stop feeding us and feeding our heroes to the wolves and like feeding regular people to the wolves, so to speak. The judicial system, police, and like whoever is gonna discredit and throw dirt on our name. We need to protect them and stand with them as a team, as a unit. But more so on the fact of putting our own perception of us out there. We need our own representation, and we need to get paid for it. We need to be compensated for our work, our energy, our contribution,
Our time.
and what America is. Like, this shit would not be what it is without us.
Without
We
us.
realize that we are the only people on the face of the globe that have been taken from their homes, stripped of their language, stripped of their religion, stripped of everything, the core being of themselves, put somewhere else, and we're still making it,
You know
and we're
why?
still giving them a problem. Like, they still can't break us
Have you ever think why that is?
because we strong as fuck, and that's pretty much it. We strong as fuck. We
We are
resilient.
powerful beyond measure.
We the ultimate alpha man.
Yeah.
Right.
And we don't, that's not inside of everybody.
They don't want us to
We're not
know.
empowered with that, but we're the ultimate alpha man. Because if a war break out, it's going to be black and white. Who the alliance is with. It's not going to be between other nations and other nations. If a color war break out, it's only going to be between black and white. Remember that. It's not going to be between, like I said, Chinese and this one, because they're going to have to take sides, because where the alpha males come from. The black community. Man. That's all it is. We all black men are alpha men. Because if you see a China man walking down the street or wherever it is, nobody's fearful. You see a black man coming, everybody clutch their purse. Everybody clutch their purse. So what does that tell you, man?
But that tells me that it's more society and what they put out. Because if you, like, that's the craziest thing. It's like, if you know actual black men and you get to know black men, like, they are warm, loving, caring, and like supportive. You feel me? Like, it's not, if you ever talk to a man that you are fearful, a black man that you're fearful of, it's gonna be love there. You're like, yo, what's up, King? Just that sentence alone.
Yeah.
You're gonna see the love, you're gonna feel love, you're gonna get the reciprocation of, like, I respect you. Oh, you respect me? I can respect you, I can let my guard down, and we can bond. It doesn't have to be this hate thing or intimidation.
All they breed within us in the black community is separation.
And I feel like also
Even in the judicial system, that breeds separation for even the black family. It's there to tear us apart. And we go there, and then the same shit happen again. History keep on repeating itself. But until we get together as one,
This is how we're gonna stop it.
and large majority, like if you go to other countries, maybe other third world, a lot of people don't know what real black people are. Like their only perception is what they see on TV. What they see, all these music videos and these movies that depict us in such a negative light is all they know. So then when they finally do meet somebody, of course they're going to clutch their pearls, because I remember that video that I saw when his homie shot the car up, or robbed Shorty, whatever. So we, like we were saying before, and we've been saying this on the last part of the evening, is controlling the narrative. We have the power, and starting with this movement right here, we have the power to change how people perceive us. We have the power to let them know that we are powerful beyond measure, and we will be respected. Period. Point blank.
But also speaking on the movies, a lot of time in the movies, they miss some of the morals that black people have.
Right.
Like for example, anybody watch Top Boy? There's a series on Netflix called Top Boy. Check it out. Dope series. But in the movies, even though in the movies, like we're in neighbors and it's like drugs dealing and stuff. Sometimes these men have family. When they go into their family, it's a sanctuary and everybody's having fun, laughing. So they just want to emphasize on the bad.
Yeah, of course.
But they don't see the bigger picture. They don't see a bigger picture in the movie.
Yeah, and that goes once again into controlling the narrative. Like if it's loving and beautiful and caring, then of course they got to tear it down, because for them that's boring. They want us to shoot
in the same movie. It's there in the movie.
Right.
Like you go out, shoot some drug dealers, make some money, come home to his wife and kids, and everything is all love. His son go to good school, all that. Look at Power.
Yeah.
For example, Power. Look what Ghost and Thing did for the kids. Set up a better life for them. Look where they live.
And that's usually the goal.
But they don't show you that side. They don't want to make it so, oh, he's a drug dealer. Get him out of here.
Yeah. So once again, we thank you. We love you. We're grateful for you. And that's it for the day. Thanks for rocking with us. We see y'all next week. Peace.